Hello, I'm J-Dog. You are watching the Garden Corner Show. Welcome. We are passionate about everything gardening. The only problem is we're very, very real about it. So I'm here with Mr. Dave. How are you today, Mr. Dave?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. He says wonderful. That's, by the way, hello to all our fans on Facebook. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for the help. And you mentioned that you can't hear Mr. Dave. I'm going to have to be the voice of Mr. Dave for today until we find out how to figure out that technical difficulties. Hey, I said we are very real. Let's get down to work. I want to show you my own garden. How terrible, awful it is. Because, you know, what's that saying? Cobbler's
Kids never have shoes.
Cobbler's kids never have shoes. A cobbler?
Cobbler is the old terminology for
Cobbler is the old terminology for a shoemaker. All right. Cobbler's kids never have shoes. Let's take a look. Are you ready? We're right here. This is the house, as you can see, just a kind of a ranch-style house. It's just blah. We've got all kinds of projects going on. I've put down some soil, and we've been composting the soil for quite a long time. We use old baskets that we just chew up and build up some of the soil. Now, down below on that very, very far corner, it used to go down right into the road. We've leveled that off. I've built, or had built, actually we designed this fence, this crazy fence, and we have these basket holders. The guy that did it for us, Don Sprague, he's a great wrought iron magician. Really can do a lot of great work. Let me know if you have a special project. I can hook you up with Don. Of course, if you have a local, and this goes around the world, if you have a local wrought iron person, this might be a neat project because you can really make it to how you like. But of course, I just said we didn't. I don't like to do a lot of straight lines, but if you take a look at the fence, a lot of straight lines. I just needed something unusual, so we have these baskets. Hopefully the baskets will look really big and full, so nice, lots of color. Let's go look on the outside of this. Come on. Instead of having a full all-out wall, I just did partial pieces and had it flowing on the outside, if you can tell. So hopefully later on this will be a bed of color or a bed of different plants. I'm not sure if we want to do one strong color or do a type of pattern or what have you. I've got these really cool funky fish, and I think it would be kind of neat to make it look like a river and the fish jumping up the river, but still debating on that. These walls, later on, I'm going to be building some stairs, so I'll show you how to build the stairs out of this type of retaining wall. You can almost do that with any type of block. But that might be a project that you might be interested in. So let's take a look over here. We're right on the corner here. Still have more of the wall. Now the wall comes all the way around. It's very, very harsh. So what I like to do is put some Boston ivy, grow some Boston ivy along this. It clings with those aerial roots it has right into the block. I'm not sure if we should plant it down below here or plant it up here. I left a little room for bedding area up here. Maybe it trails down. I'm not sure. This is all west exposure, by the way, so this gets a lot of the sun. We'll plan that out. We'll plant it, and then we'll keep you informed here and there how that goes. So hope that's interesting to you. Let me show you the rest of this. Come on. Oh, this area right here. We've just started creating this pathway. I'm going to put I think we're going to make this into a boardwalk. We're going to hammer this right into the ground. I'm going to put down some gravel. This will be a neat project to show you as well. This is going to be the garden area. What we're going to do here is I'm going to build these posts, these posts out of this type of block. do I say block or column? And this is a project we'll go over. This is probably our #1 project going on. And then I'm going to build this pergola over the top of that. So you might find that kind of interesting too. We're in Oregon, so I'm going to build a pergola, hopefully out of wrought iron with it powder coated finish, so it doesn't, it doesn't weather too bad. Anyway, so here's the before shot of the garden. Show you the rest. I'm thinking, just in my mind, is to have, I really like strong contrast. Contrast in color, but contrast in foliage, and contrast in form. So I'm thinking a lot of different forms and shapes in this area as we go around the corner. I've got a guy that can grow figurines dancing, or a person pointing, or a golfer golfing. So kind of neat. I'll show you that farm too and how he does it over there. So stay tuned on that. Let me show you the rest of the garden. Now we're going from the sun area into the shade area. We're in Great Oregon, so I've got a lot of Doug fir. I've got some native madrone trees. So we're going to keep those. Doug fir are very sensitive about their roots, so I have to watch out how much soil I add and how I irrigate around those trees. We're going to put an irrigation system in. I'm going to show you that as well, another project to do. Again, I'm hoping you guys can inspire me just as much. So there's little things going on that you can get this project done. You can at least see the progress being made. This, by the way, are some of the old baskets, and I just churned those up into compost, so you can do your hanging baskets, put them in the compost, and reuse the soil. So this is what all this stuff that we're standing on is. So really good soil. Investing in that soil really is going to make a difference, I think, how the plants do later on. So I'll show you the deck area too. This is an outdoor kitchen area with a sink and barbecue and what have you. What my big thing on the deck is coming from the house into the garden as quickly as possible, so there's a really good flow without too many barriers, because we like to enjoy being outside. So that was one of the things about the deck. Let me show you the rest of this area over here. Hey, so now this is the shade garden area, if I haven't told you that before. And we're going to do some foliage, do a little bit of color. We're going to watch out for the Doug firs because they're very sensitive on their roots. So, like I told you before, we're going to watch how we water, how much soil we put underneath there. But I think this is going to be a really neat area, especially we can escape to in the hot weather. Oh, here's this guy right back here. This one, I hope to do something with this guy. And my dream is there's a yurt place in Rainier, Washington, excuse me, that builds yurts. And if you know, yurts are the rounded buildings, and it's kind of like a Mongolian yurt. And I'll have to show you. Maybe if it's in the budget, we can get something like that. I think that would be neat to have a outside room, ping pong or dancing or something like that. But something we can, or entertain, or do seminars. That would be really fun. So, let me show you some more over here. And every garden, there's always some difficult areas. This is one area I've got to figure out too, on the approach to the deck and what to do with this area. And I think later on we'll finish this off with, make this a storage area. This is kind of a ramp up to it. You can see down here as well there is to part of that front part of the house, and then over here is the garden center. So there's a little bit of a transfer, a little bit of a flow issue. We've got to figure that out. So if you got some ideas, let me know. Anything else that we're going to since we're talking, is there anything else we need to promise that we're going to show while we're here? It's a big job to do. So I'll let you know as the steps as we progress, and we'll check in every so often on this project. Anyway, that's the show for today. Oh, the quotes. I've got to tell you, quote for the day. And this is what I'm thinking of, is that in the worst case scenario, you sat and watched this video and you're not getting anything from it, that at least you get a quote for the day. The quote for the day is, the price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. Thank you very much, Henry David Thoreau. Live with passion.
See me right out of the sunset on the color TV screen.